Welcome to the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Ruthie Gray, and you're listening to episode 95, Faith-Fueled Leadership, Empowering Christian Women in Business and Social Media. This episode builds on last week's episode number 94, Empty Nest Case Studies, Finding New Purpose in the Digital Age, where we talked about takeaways from my book, Empty Nest Awakening. Today, we shift into how these three ladies, Kathy, Suzanne, and Brenda, started building businesses in the online space in this empty nest season. They each share their unique entrepreneurial journeys from content creation on platforms like Instagram and newsletter marketing to selling products through social media and email marketing. All three of these ladies are graduates of Authentic Online Marketing School, the perfect blend of Instagram and email marketing. So easy, your mom or Carol Brady can do it. And doors open Black Friday, November 24th. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. The pre-sale starts today. Check out the link in the show notes to see if Authentic Online Marketing School is for you. Some of these ladies will be your mentors in the school, and I can't think of a better way to start your marketing year off than in our January cohort. Authentic Online Marketing School runs for 8 weeks, is for Christian creatives and entrepreneurs who know their way around Instagram but are stuck on getting engagement and followers and translating them to their email list. What's more, if you're stumped on email list building and what in the world to write in your newsletter, you'll come away with fresh content and ideas going forward. So listen to this episode to see why these ladies love the training so much, and then tap the link in the show notes or visit AuthenticOnlineMarketing.com to find out more. Don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at Ruthie Gray Author if you're thinking about joining, but you have questions. I'll answer them without pressuring you because that's not me, pinky promise. After all, I'm all about authentic online marketing. Now let's get back to the show. If you're on the cusp of building a business or online presence, or maybe just toying with a dream, you're going to love what these ladies share. And now, listen in.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
First of all, share with us what you do as an entrepreneur. Let's hear from Kathy first.
Okay, I'm an online content creator right now, mostly on Instagram and through my newsletter. It's the Retired Empty Nester, and I talk about ways to thrive in this season of life through serving, learning, and having fun. And it really kind of started with just me documenting my own journey kind of as an accountability, but it resonated with people. So the way this is a business, I will grow it through adding on to my blog. I'm looking at a podcast, and I'll go back to what I did with my side of 50 through sponsored posts and affiliate products that I like. So that's how it's a business for me, and I just really enjoy that.
Yeah, and Kathy and I have just recently started working together again so she can get some clarity and some business coaching on where she wants to go with how she wants to generate those funds to pay for the costs that she has, plus make a little bit of money there too. Let's go with Suzanne. What about you? What do you do as an entrepreneur?
Well, I guess I also am a content creator because I do a lot on Instagram as far as educating and doing reels, which I never thought I would do. But I have been in direct sales since 2002. I've done various companies, but in the last probably 5 years, I feel like I've really found a niche that I love, and that is educating about women's health as far as hair, skincare, and makeup is concerned. So I am a beauty guide with Lime Life by Alcone, and I teach women about the elements of skincare, which is probably more important to me than the elements of makeup. And I was with a hair care company and love learning about and teaching others about the health of your hair. So I sell items that contribute to those elements that are important to a woman's health. Hence, the confidence and the inspirer and champion of midlife women, because we have so many changes and we have to address them differently. So that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. And I want to say that Suzanne, she's been in my membership for years now. And when she first started, there was no way she was going to do reels and get on video. And now she does it like a champ, like in her sleep every day. Y'all have to check out her reels on Instagram. We'll have everybody's links in the show notes too, so you can see what we're talking about. But listen, you don't have to be like this young, spry 20-year-old to do reels and do them effectively. You can, something that we always say on the podcast is share your message your way in your own authentic voice. And that's what she's doing. That's what all these women are doing. So let's go with Brenda. What do you do as an entrepreneur?
Okay, so right now I've taken a little bit of a pivot and I am a new skin product distributor. So that is, again, some skincare products that I've really found that I really like. And I was going to promote those through my newsletter, my weekly newsletter, which I love sending out. But when I began to promote them, the person who had introduced me to the product said, well, if you're a distributor, then your audience can be wider with that. So that's what I've been doing with that, which is kind of a weird pivot for me, but it's been a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying that.
Before you go on, though, can you clarify that your audience is wider? How does that differ from just using your newsletter?
Well, this is a social media driven business, distributing of these products or the selling of them, promoting of them. I'm able to target my entire social media audience with what I want them to find out about these products.
Right, like Facebook and Instagram. Okay.
Right. And so my newsletter is a smaller group, but not that much smaller. So they kind of work together, but it's sometimes a different audience on both. I love the newsletter and how it's given me a platform to really share a lot of different things. And I have to attribute my newsletter success to you, Ruthie, and to what you've taught me about email marketing. So when it sounded sort of cheesy to me in the beginning, now I see email marketing as just another way to connect with people and to provide some sort of information that they need to hear. So I do that as an entrepreneur. And then I also am continuing to market the books that I've written. I wrote a Texas bucket list series of adventures that each book is a season. And in each one, there are 25 adventures that everyone should do in Texas during that season. So I'm promoting those books and learning how to get them marketed into different places, which is, as you know, a whole new gig in itself. So those are my entrepreneurial pursuits. And in the future, I kind of like Kathy would like to do a podcast. So I'm investigating some of that and just meeting some goals, just really continuing to expand what I've learned so far.
All right. And I hope that you're hearing here a theme that is kind of important. Sometimes you need a few different streams of income when you are building a business. Some people say you should have 7. I don't necessarily say you have to have 7, but I do think it's nice if you can share affiliate links and maybe dabble in a couple of things if you can do them well. But we're not saying, go out there and start doing all these different things at once, especially if you are new to entrepreneurship, or if you're an empty nester that is thinking about doing something that will make a little bit of money, or something that you want to generate funds for your hobby. Maybe your hobby is your podcast or your blog or something like that, or anything. It doesn't have to be anything online. So keep an open mind with that. My next question for you ladies, I've worked with all of you at one time or another. So actually, we've all kind of been together for the past 4 years off and on. What are some ways that you have grown in our time together? So let's go with Kathy.
Okay, well, I took advantage of your training and expertise first through what I saw on Instagram, doing some challenges. I took probably a course, then got in a membership. We've done coaching off and on. And what I've seen at this last session of coaching as I'm trying to figure out this new brand and what I want to do. when I get coached by you, I get a plan that I get up every day and have something to follow instead of just chasing rabbits. And what I mean by that is that, okay, well, I plan to do this today, but I saw somebody teaching a newsletter strategy on Instagram, so I'm going to do that today. And nothing ever got done. So now I have direction and a plan and also priorities. As far as the coaching goes, you really helped me because I have finally, after 7 or 8 years online, finally really said and meant it. I want this to be a business. I want to make money. And that has been really hard for me to get to that point to really say that. And by saying it, it makes me really want to work toward it. Also, just the groups, when we've been in, like the three of us, we've all gotten to know each other in the groups. I find that, I guess we all kind of have a little bit of the skincare in common, but we have different things that we do too. And even in a group where nobody does the same thing I do, I learned so much by watching them and hearing what they're doing. So that has been invaluable. And the common thing I hear with the three of us is that we are all continuing to learn new skills. And I think that is so important in this stage of life because I would get bored with myself if I did the same thing all the time. And learning new things and accomplishing it makes me feel alive. It's so motivating for me.
Yeah. And I think with community, we have to remember community isn't just about us. It's about how we can help others. And when we do that, we always get back. We always receive back.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Suzanne? What's the way or some ways that you've grown as we've worked together?
Well, I think that, from when I began, we mentioned earlier that I did not want to do reels. I did not want to show my face, but definitely have learned that part of branding is you. It's not, it's not the brand you represent. You are building a brand around you and yourself, and people learn to know, like, and trust you. And that's when the relationships are sealed and, more likely to buy from you. The community helps that because you may be fresh out of ideas. And I resonated a lot with what Kathy said, but you may be fresh out of ideas or feeling stale or something like that. And so having that community behind you, which I've had in this group, just to bounce ideas off of, to get constructive criticism, if you will. It's not really criticism. It's helping us all build together, and someone might say, well, have you thought about doing this? Or have you thought about doing that? And you think, why didn't I think of that? But thank you for saying that. So having the community to just bounce ideas off of and kind of complete the whole circle that you may have forgotten an element of, or, just reminding you of things. Having grown in this community together with you and the other women has been so vital, I think, not only spurring my creativity, but enabling me to not forget this important element or that important element.
Yeah. And this episode, we're talking about entrepreneurship, but we're also wanting you to be aware that Authentic Online Marketing School is opening again. And all of these ladies have been through my training and they know that community is the core way that I teach. So what you're hearing now is experiences from the cohort, what it's like to learn together, because there's no other experience like it. It's different than if you're doing a self-paced course and you're learning on your own, as opposed to there is an energy in a group when you learn together and you start collaborating and bouncing ideas off of each other. There's just an energy there that doesn't come when you're on your own. So that's what we are trying to inform and encourage you about today. So let's talk to Brenda. How have you learned and grown?
I was thinking back to those first days of us all being together in your training. And it was kind of like we were a bunch of grown-up kindergartners because we just knew so little. And you're a natural teacher and you really helped us. And whatever you learned, we learned. And so you took us along at an appropriate pace. When I can remember getting online and thinking, like Kathy said, I want to take this course and this course and this course. But then sometimes you would actually take them and you would think they are college students and I'm a kindergartner. we just need somebody a step ahead of us because we didn't need to learn everything at once. We just needed to learn as we went. And that was what was really good about your training. And so now we all have branched out and are doing other things. We're way more confident in our online presence and our ability, like you said, to do reels and things. And what was so uncomfortable at the first is really a lot of fun now. That's important. We need to have fun with this. And so you really modeled that and you taught us the skills we needed to make it happen.
It's so important to know that you don't have to know everything. And like Authentic Online Marketing School, you need to have a grasp. You need to already know kind of how Instagram goes. You need to already have a platform of 200 followers. And this isn't a basic, like, you're going to push this button and do this. But as we go, there are changes. During those 8 weeks that we have the next cohort, Authentic Online Marketing School, things will change on Instagram. And that's the beauty of our community is I could just pop in and say, hey, this has changed. This is where it is now. You know, Reels format is all different now. This is how you do text overlay, things like that. That's why it's cool because the members also, they'll notice things. You guys will notice things and tell each other. And so that's what we do. We lift each other up. Does anybody have something you would add or want to say about either your Instagram training or some advice that you have about Instagram that you've learned over time or about email marketing or about even business?
Well, what I learned about email marketing when I first started my blog back in the day, they were saying, well, you still need to have a newsletter. And I'm thinking, why do I need a newsletter? I've written everything I have to say on my blog post. But what I've realized is that if people give you their email address, they want to connect with you and they are interested in your content or your product more than somebody that just sees it in passing. And as far as making sales or whatever you're doing to generate income, I would say most of that comes from the people on my email list that hear from me every week, that are personally invested in me, and that I give stuff to that I don't give to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is that on social media, you have like a 3% chance of everyone seeing every single post and conversion. But in your email list, it's like 25 to 30% more people are going to read, and you have a higher percentage of people that are going to respond to your call to action.
Along with the newsletter, most of the email providers, you can see how many and even who clicks on a link to your product or whatever you're talking about, which gives you immediate feedback about their interest in what you are sending them. You do not get in social media. I don't know who clicked my link bio, and I don't, or any of my links in bio. So that's really valuable.
That's true. Suzanne.
I was going to say, I learned that, especially from you, Ruthie, that emails can be fun. They can be a way to show a certain part of your personality that might not come across. When I get Ruthie's email, I love reading it because I know it's going to be a fun story or it's going to be educational and valuable too. That's what I learned mostly is that, when you have an email that is entertaining and, people want to open it, that's what's going to help drive your business rather than just another sales pitch.
It's about a relationship. Do you have anything to add to that, Brenda?
Not really, but I would say that the newsletter now feels like a real foundational part of my business. Whereas before it was kind of like Kathy said, why do I need to really write this? But now it's foundational.
Well, if someone were listening and thinking about, they don't really know maybe what direction they're doing on Instagram, they have kind of an idea and they have an idea for what their message is and or maybe they've even been working the message. What advice would you give them about trying out Authentic Online Marketing School?
Well, what I would say, it would give you a step-by-step blueprint to grow your platform. So there's no guesswork. You have these lessons and go step by step. and your platform will grow. You will be able to refine your message and reach the people that you want to reach. Plus the community part. I found that we do this for each other, but maybe I think I've said something that's very clear and somebody else would say, I didn't really understand what you were saying. So you can refine your message, because we do in this online world where we're all working out of our houses, it can be a vacuum, but all we have is what's in our head. Having someone to teach us the steps and then get feedback and give feedback from the people in the group is so valuable.
It is. And it helps you get ideas for your content too, even if it's feedback for somebody else. Mm-hmm. Suzanne?
Exactly. Let's say something similar. You know, there are a lot of Instagram coaches. There are a lot of business coaches out there. But if you have to believe every fourth word that they say, they're probably not for me. And their focus from which they come is probably not for me. So that's what I love about Authentic Online Marketing School, is that it is more geared to the Christian woman. And you know that when you come, all the ideas you're going to get, all the ways that you're going to learn from Ruthie and from others are a God-centered approach, and not, something that is either out to get someone's money, or, they're from a serving aspect, or their language is going to be unchecked. That's not the case here. So that just reveals, I think, your approach to online marketing is that it's a service kind of based thing. It's a God-given gift kind of thing. And it's a community of women that are going to build up one another. There's not competition. There's not catty kind of attitudes. It's all built to build up one another. So I really, have appreciated that so much. I can trust everyone in the group.
I love that. Brenda, would you add anything to that?
I wanted to say that the name of your training is really good, because you say Authentic Online Marketing. And since I started with you, Instagram was my favorite place to be, and I still love Instagram. But what I've learned from you transfers to every angle of social media. And so, since we've all started together, TikTok boomed, and I'm not on TikTok, but there are things that we've learned from you that we can take anywhere. So if we really do want to pivot in some way, or with a certain product on a different social media network, what you've taught us transfers. Mm-hmm. And so I really have seen that as a great value from what I've learned from you, is that the consistency that you taught us, the tools for writing that you taught us for captions and everything that we can write in newsletter marketing, it all transfers wherever you want to be for your business. So when you named your business Authentic Online Marketing, you're focused on Instagram, and we all are still there. We love Instagram, but no matter what comes along, you've taught us how to mix in and how to do that too, how to make that a part of our business.
It's all in your messaging, and your messaging hinges on you as your brand being authentic, serving your audience and giving them what they want. And we will teach you inside Authentic Online Marketing School to figure out what they want and to hone your message, to niche down, and to deliver it effectively. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so thankful for all of you, and I wish all of you well in your entrepreneurial adventures. And if you're listening right now, be sure to check out Authentic Online Marketing School.
Kathy, I just want to say you are doing such a good job on your pivot. I just love what you're doing, and your newsletter is good, and your stuff is all good. I just love all your stories, and I love your focus on serving. And this is really, really you.
I agree. I kind of think I found myself at this season of my life, but thank you for saying that. Another thing, about being in a group, how many of your in real life friends really understand what you do?
No.
How many of your even husbands really understand what you do? This is a joy being together. And Brenda, when you encourage me, I know you know what you're talking about. So thank you so much for that. That just made my day.
I agree with Brenda.
And I've bought stuff from all of you.
I know. It's so great. And Suzanne, we love what you're doing too. And you just, You just always have a good tip. You always have a good tip.
It's been so fun to watch all of you blossom and move on. I love what you said, Brenda, about how we all started like we were kindergartners, and then everyone has kind of branched off and gained confidence. I see the confidence in you ladies, and it gives me confidence too. I feed off of that myself. So thank you for being so inspiring. Aren't these ladies fun and amazing? They have decided to do something brave and fun and terrifying that takes guts in the second half of life in their empty nest. One key takeaway from these three women is the significance of community and learning from one another. Their collaboration and support have been instrumental in their growth as entrepreneurs. It's a reminder that success is often nurtured through shared experiences and mutual encouragement. In other words, community grows opportunity. Kathy's top takeaway was don't wait to invest in yourself. Whether it's coaching, courses, or community, investing in yourself can lead to faster growth and ground covered. Suzanne's top takeaway was community is key. Being part of a supportive community helps you build habits, make business changes, and pivot when needed. Plus, they're there to cheer you on every step of the way. And Brenda's top takeaway was to embrace the intentional adventure that this phase of life brings. Seeing life this way helps you prioritize self-reflection and appreciate the good things life has to offer. Let curiosity guide you in this journey. Don't be afraid to dream. Thank you for joining us today with these inspirational women, and be sure to check out Authentic Online Marketing School to see if it's for you. Doors open Black Friday, pre-sale is right now, and the doors close Wednesday, November 29th. So don't wait, check it out. And we'll see you again on Black Friday with a bonus podcast release where I talk all about Authentic Online Marketing School, the benefits, the details, and what you can expect to receive. Join me then. Until next time, be sure to share your message, your way, in your own authentic voice.